The world turns, and with each turn, a change. And each change makes it more complex, unpredictable, enigmatic. The world keeps turning. And from the Pellicer and Heredia practice, we anticipate everything that is going to happen. Brexit, artificial intelligence, new commercial borders, legal tech. The world keeps turning, and it commands the reliance on international lawyers who are capable of interpreting this new reality with integrity, honesty, and transparency, offering answers to so many new questions. Whatever it is, ask us. At Pellicer and Heredia, we know how.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Just thank you for joining us today again on this 29th of September. Very happy today to talk on a different subject, which is doing business in Spain. After the climate with the visa situation for non-European countries, we've been having hundreds of questions about how to move to Spain, how to get a visa to work in Spain. And we thought it could be very interesting for the audience to know how you could access to all these premises, business managers, and legal terms and conditions. Today, I'm going to introduce you. I'm happy, and it is a privilege to have today Carlos Pilar from Carmila. He is the Commercial and Business Development Director. Hello, Carlos.
Hello, how are you doing? Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. We've got on the right-hand side, we've got Pedro Heredia, international lawyer, Vice President in the International Law Society in Alicante. Hello, Pedro.
Hello, Ignacio. How are you doing? Nice to see you again.
Thank you for joining us today. And down south in Andalusia, we've got Michael Davies, ex-honorary consul in Spain and a lawyer for many, many years. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Ignacio. Hello, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today. Today, as I said, we're going to talk about doing business in Spain. A lot of people, a lot of questions we had about whether they could set up a self-employed, an SL company, whether they could have a subsidiary here in Spain or a branch in Spain, whether they need a visa to work. But the most important thing probably on this topic is, can we start from zero? Can we start doing business? Obviously, as we always recommend, we recommend to do tax planning. If you want to come over to Spain and start a new project, franchise, a whatever retail activity, I think it is good for you to be informed. I'm going to pass you over to Carlos. He's going to explain to us what sort of business, what nationality are you could start, depending as well on the business project you have. I know this international company helps the entrepreneurs to find a way forward and start doing business in Spain. I thought it will be very much interesting, and I thank Carlos for all the information. So over to you, Carlos.
Thank you very much, Ignacio, for the introduction. So as Ignacio was saying, Carmila is specialized in the shopping center business. So I would like to start showing you a video just to have a look about who we are, and then I will start the presentation. So allow me to start. Okay, can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Perfect. So we start with the video. I've been working in this sector for more than 20 years, so I could be talking on a real passion. I have a real passion about this activity, this business. I could be talking on one whole day about this, so I will try to go fast on this presentation. So just to give you a picture about the economic context in the retail sector in Spain, in the shopping center sector. As you know, in 2020, we all suffered this COVID situation, and the physical business in Spain suffered more than 90 closing days of their business. So we were impacted for this crisis. During 2021, it's the year of recovery. The sales have been growing up in 37% like for like, comparing to in July, comparing to July 2020. So it's a real year of recovery. And if we compare 2021 with 2029, it was a normal year, we could say that today we are almost 90%, we have almost 90% of recovery. We are just 10% away from the normal year of 2019. So what we have learned during this period is that it has been a period of adaptation and transformation. All the retailers have been working on this adaptation to this new situation, diversifying also their activities, their offer, their services. So we know many of these entrepreneurs and these big brands have been transforming their business. And until today, they were quite stopped on their expansion plans. But during the last couple of months, they have started pushing these expansion plans, and we see that the market is changing very fast. Just a couple of more figures in these two charts. So you can see that the two first quarters of 2021, where the negative figures are decreasing very fast in terms of visitors in our shopping centers, and also in terms of their sales. So who is Carmila? Just to start, I guess you can be with me on this time of crisis. We always find the opportunity, and it's time for, we say, well, that it's time for opportunities, and we are finding now this with our clients. Carmila is a group, is a real estate company specialized in shopping center business. We are present in 3 countries, in Spain, in France, and in Italy. And it was created by the group Carrefour, that you may know. It's one of the leaders in the hypermarket business. It was created for modernizing, for digitalize, for offering a better commercial mix in the shopping centers that are next to Carrefour hypermarkets. We already have 215 shopping centers. That means 1.3 million square meters of leased area. And just in Spain, because we are focusing in Spain, we have 78 shopping centers. We receive around 200 million visits per year. And as you can see in the plan, we have shopping centers all around the country. In most of the important cities, we have a hypermarket, Carrefour hypermarket, with a shopping center next to it. That means more than 2,800 retail premises and almost 500,000 square meters of leased area. Anyway, I guess my friends Pellicer and Heredia will share with you this presentation. So you, in case you are interested, we'll share with you this link. This is an app we have, and you can go into this app and check more detailed information about all our shopping centers, the commercial mix we have, and the different contacts. The 3 different typologies of shopping centers we have are big shopping centers, and as you may know, in the different cities or countries you live, big shopping centers for more than 50, 100 shops, and more than 20,000 square meters of GLA. In this type of big shopping centers, usually we have 91% of the weight of the different brands. They are national and international brands, and just 9% of local brands. Then we have the medium shopping centers, around 50, between 30 and 50 units premises, and the proximity shopping centers, the local centers, with a much more weight of local brands, around 30%. It's entrepreneurs, local brands, franchisees, etc. And here you can see that many of our clients, we have 2,500 units leased to national and international brands, the ones you can see in this presentation. But we also have hundreds of local brands, and it's growing. We see that the trends is that the entrepreneurs, the local entrepreneurs and franchisees are growing very fast in Spain. In Carmila, we are also adapting, and we know that we have to change the way we usually work with our tenants, with our retailers, and we are much more flexible with the type of agreements we sign with our clients. We're pushing a lot the short-term agreements for those entrepreneurs who want to test, who are coming from any country, who are in a city with an existing business, with one shop, but they want to expand. They want to expand the business to other places, to other shopping centers, or even to other villages. And we're offering them many options, like the pop-up stores that you may know. They are short-term, up to 12 months contracts, where they can test their model, their business model. They can also do rent and space in the malls, in the corridors of the shopping centers, to present a new product, to show any new marketing service, or even to create and to do an event to present, for example, the launch of a new car, like a Ford or like a Hyundai or Mercedes, and to create an event in the parking space. And then we have the long-term agreements that we are all used to it. That is the normal contract, long-term contract, more than 1 year, that we have in our shopping centers. In here, we work with all type of clients and investors and entrepreneurs who are used to work with the big brands, with big companies like Inditex, like H&M, like cinemas, and so on. But also we work very close with smaller brands, national brands and local brands. As an example, Bedland, there is a national brand in here that we agreed with them to make a corporate agreement to expand their business, helping them, and not just with economic, with money, but also with marketing, with pushing their brand, and so on. We also have a new plan that I will talk to you later after this slide. It was the plan Inicia that we launched in order to help entrepreneurs who has their own business, but they don't have any shop in Carmila in our portfolio. So we launched this plan in order to help with money, in order to help them to construct their new shop in Carmila. And we also help them with the launch, with the marketing, with the digital marketing, helping them in case they don't have any experience in building. So we have many service providers who help our clients. So we are very, very close to our tenants in order to boost their expansion and their sales. And also we'll advise not just the franchisees in order to find the proper franchisees, but if any person, any entrepreneur is interested in launching any franchise in Spain, and they want to invest and to put a bar or a shop of any franchise in Spain, we also advise them in order to and present them all the franchise market in Spain. We have a couple of videos here with this plan Inicia. That is what we call to this plan that we launched it for entrepreneurs. And the one on the right is a video, a real example of one guy in the south of Spain who had a cafeteria restaurant, and we didn't have any of these cafeterias in our shopping center. So with this plan, we helped him in order to set up their business. And today, after this plan, we don't have just one, but we have 3 restaurants and cafeteria. I'm gonna play the video. So this is with English subtitles. So just to see what's a real experience in our market.
Finales del año pasado, de 2020, ya tuvimos un contacto con Carmila y vimos que tenían muchos locales en los centros comerciales y nos propusieron abrir aquí en Málaga y ya pues bueno, llegamos a un acuerdo a final de año. Bueno, una de las cosas que más nos gustó de este local en concreto es la terraza que tiene. Si ves, aquí caben 20 mesas y para nuestro negocio y en hostelería en general la terraza es fundamental. Uno, porque es donde se puede fumar, y luego porque a la gente le gusta también. Estamos en Málaga, el calorcito, el sol, y la terraza pues le da mucha vida al local. Y por dentro el local había sido ya un bar antiguamente, aunque había que hacerle mucha reforma, pero también tenía un tamaño adecuado para una gitana loca. Lo más visible son los precios. Somos muy baratos, la caña, que es el producto estrella, está a 80 céntimos, pero barato no quita que la calidad tenga que ser baja, todo lo contrario. La gente cuando prueba nuestra comida, una comida muy andaluza, y es una comida barata pero de calidad. Está gustando mucho, como he dicho antes, la comida. La cerveza, aparte de la caña 80, tenemos una variedad de tercios. Victoria en concreto, que aquí en Málaga gustó mucho. El menú también, en los comercios de por aquí estaban buscando que entrase alguien que diese menú y bueno, la acogida ha sido estupenda. Para el inicio ha sido fundamental. Ellos tienen mucha experiencia, están ayudando en darnos a conocer. El centro comercial es muy amplio, no estamos en la entrada principal, al estar un poco más apartados. El hecho de hacer una campaña con ellos de marketing hace pues que nos demos a conocer más rápidamente. Pues hicimos primero un estudio de marca, de posicionamiento de la marca, y luego ya campañas más concretas con microinfluencers y con unos regalos directos a los clientes que entraban al centro comercial, dándole una cerveza de tercio gratis. Creo que se dieron 1.100 vales por cerveza y la gente venía y lo que estuvimos viendo era si se tomaban la cerveza y se iban o ya se quedaban a comer. Y casi el 90% se quedaban y ya pedían más cosas y probaban y veían que, bueno, les preguntábamos qué les había parecido y sí, la verdad que ha sido fundamental el que gracias a regalarle la cerveza nos hayan conocido. La verdad que son una empresa que apuesta mucho por el comerciante y con Carmila la verdad que muy bien. La idea es seguir abriendo locales por España. Después de este, que fue en febrero, hemos abierto en marzo en Córdoba y también muy atentos, y ya estamos negociando más locales porque bueno, tienen por toda España, como he dicho antes. En Madrid creo que hay un potencial y creo que vamos a ser buenos socios de viaje.
Okay. So I guess you're not gonna learn anything from the video. It's just an example of an advice for all these entrepreneurs, international entrepreneurs that could be interested in coming to Spain. I think it's important to be a company and going together with specialized people. And if you're interested in shopping centers or in high street or in any sector, it's important to go together with specialized people. With these guys, as I said, they have just one cafeteria restaurant. Today they have 3 with us, and we are also thinking about going forward with different types of rotation. That is the business development. This is another line we have in our company that we are pushing a lot. We are not just a landlord, we are not just the owner of shopping centers, but we are now creating an investment fund to push and to invest in concepts we believe in. And so if we see that one of our existing clients or a new client that we have shown outside in the high street or in another shopping center, and we believe that we can repeat this model in our shopping center, we are analyzing to invest in this company, to create a company as partner, having the 40% of this company with our partner and financing the expansion. We have already done this business with, for example, as you see in the left side, with Centros Ideal, that is an aesthetic clinic. And we together have opened 12 shops, 12 clinics in our portfolio in different cities in Spain. With Dental Star, it was the same experience. We met this guy, this dental odontologist, in Barcelona. He had one clinic. We had a very good feeling together, and we decided why not create a company together, Carmila with 40% and our partner with 60% of the company, and develop that concept that we really believe is going to be successful in our portfolio. And today we have 4 new clinics, and the idea is to expand its business all around our portfolio. So we have to be open-minded with the business, and we evaluate every single opportunity that we find in the market. And finally, working together with our retailers, with our clients. It's important not to choose a landlord that just takes your money from the rent, but also that is close to the tenants every day, managing the shopping centers and giving advice and giving help to our clients and our tenants. That's why we created a specific and exclusive platform for our retailers. Once you sign a contract with us and you start doing your business in our shopping center, you have access to this exclusive platform where you will find many tools in order to give visibility to your business, in order to boost the sales. And we have many agreements, with many companies like Taclia, that is specialized in management and search of for repair and maintenance, like Entrepeneur for recruitment, Grupo Arcel for doing your works, your building works of your businesses, for your brands, that is linked to micro-influencers and digital marketing. So there are many entrepreneurs who have no idea about how to hire this kind of companies. So we are, through this platform, we are helping all our clients to push and move with this kind of services. Not just with the phase of opening the shop, but also when they are running the business. So we are pushing many people, many entrepreneurs and local brands, because the big brands has already experience on this, and we have advised them in all these lines of selling products by WhatsApp, home delivery, the mobile or contactless payment. So we have many companies who are working with us in order to advise our clients. This is, we always finalize this, why we're in the market, why Carmila is a very good option for analyzing in case you are interested in setting up your business, retail business in Spain. It's a brief is in Carmila, you are always accompanied by specialized team. We have a very specialized team in all these fields. All our shopping centers are next to a Carrefour hypermarket. So it's a consolidated business commercial environment. All these Carrefour hypermarkets are leaders in their catchment area. And we are always analyzing how to help these tenants, these retailers with economic conditions, special economic conditions adapted to each one. And always having a very wide range of marketing tools in our platforms. So that was the end of the presentation. Just to repeat, just to give you an advice, it's not just working with Carmila, but I think it's very important for all the international entrepreneurs and investors who are coming to Spain. It's not an easy market. You need to know the culture. You need to know the sector, and it's good to be always with experienced people like Pellicer, Heredia, and there are many shopping center companies like us in the market. But it's good to be close to this kind of companies when you are going to invest and develop any business. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I will be more than glad to.
Okay, thank you very much, Carlos. Before we go into questions, I don't know if Michael would like to comment anything here, or we should just jump into questions. I know that they hit Malaga area, which I don't know, Michael, probably you're very familiar with. What do you think? Were you like
Extremely interesting. I was surprised by the sort of the consultancy service that they offer and the sort of the added value that they provide to their tenants. I get the feeling they also sort of enter into partnerships with certain firms, which was a surprise to me. That's very interesting. In our case, we can't provide much more information because the only business clients that we have are basically people that invest in real estate for rentals, which isn't the business that we're talking about. So I can't help much with that.
Okay,
so let's go into questions.
Okay, Pedro, I think it's your turn now to just jump into questions and answers. A lot about visas, and as you could imagine, we've been having a lot of questions, even here in the chat and in the live chat in our website, about setting up a business. You know, there is a lot of non-European here that would like to come with their families, set up a business, and start doing a new life. I will pass over to you, Pedro, to do the introduction, and then start running through questions and answers in the panel. Okay, over to you, Pedro.
Thank you, Ignacio. Well, I haven't prepared like a PowerPoint, even though I will be explaining in a briefly way some bullet points regarding relocating in Spain and specifically doing business in Spain. I mean, at the end, as Ignacio said, we are receiving more and more questions in order to relocate business or start business or think about entry with a residency through creating a business in Spain. So, well, first of all, I mean, I would like to congratulate Carlos. It's been an amazing project. I like the way that you manage in order to put both companies together in order to help. And I will link that issue with one of the let's say not working visa, but it's like an entrepreneur visa through the lady emprendedores with the golden visa, really, in order to that I'm sure that will be able to be added and linked into this kind of visa, that kind of projects in order to invest in Carmila. Okay, well, doing business in Spain, like any other place in I would say in the world, probably, or in Europe in this case, there are different ways in order to invest in different kind of companies. The most common one, and I have attached a link into our website where there's different kind of guides, and one of them is doing business in Spain. And obviously we focus really in one of the main issues, one main structures in order to start business in Spain, which is a limited company. I can see in the chat that someone is, Ignacio, is talking about, I would like to, what is better or easier for visa purposes, open a branch or a new entity in Spain. I have a US LLC that already serves Spanish clients. Obviously, in order to enter in Spain, will be as a resident, as a Spanish company, and doing it with a branch or a permanent establishment, or doing it with a limited company or with a limited liability like an entrepreneur, or doing it with a different kind of, let's say, association or joint venture or as an agent. All of them has a way in order to do it in the immigration office. The most important thing in order to start and apply for obtaining residency through like a working visa with a self-employment is the business plan. And the business plan is I think it's a must, it's important. So let's divide that. You as an employee of a company, you can be transferred into Spain as a multinational companies, or creating a branch and being transferred from a employment contract into Spain. That's a different issue, and we are not going to focus on that today. but also just to create your own business in Spain, to create like a limited company, or starting with as a self-employment. Doing one or the other one, the main important thing is, as I said, is the business plan. And I think the business planning needs to be, I'm going to read rapidly, just a minute, what are the conditions or what are the requirements that needs to be done in a business plan. Obviously, description of a project, well, that's a main, the starting date, the number of employees, the quantification of the necessary investment, and how it's going to be financed. How is at this time the financial situation, the degree of future dedication to the project, I mean, which is the degree of whoever is going to manage with the project, what is going to be the dedication on the project whenever it's in Spain, the description of the services, description of a production plan in case it's needed. I mean, what are going to be the costs, and what is going to be the turnover in the following years, the description of the facilities and machinery required, and the use, licenses. Licenses are obviously important. Whenever you're going to start an activity that is an obligation to have a license, it's something that needs to be obviously included in the business plan, and obviously will have to be required and applied. And obviously with the market, I mean, you need to compare in the business plan comparison of with other companies in the same sector, and general aspects of the sector. I mean, there's a marketing plan and potential clients, not just in Spain, also all around the world, and suppliers, sales strategy, prices, product marketing, I mean, staff, professional experience. I mean, a business plan well done will give you a big ground in order to obtain the self-employment or working visa in these cases. So, and one of the limitations on this case is that you apply for the working visa self-employment and you obtain it, and you cannot include at the beginning your family members, not your spouse. That will happen after a year. So at the first time you enter in Spain, where once the period of time of a resolution of a residency, of a resolution of a visa, and then you enter Spain, you update it into the Social Security and get the identification card. That may take, let's say, between 4 and 5 months from the submission of the application. Then, I mean, after 1 year, then we'll be able to bring family members. It's always a question that has been made by many who wants to relocate or to start business in Spain. So this is one issue. I mean, as I said, people that want to start a company, want to start a business in Spain. And I think there's a question in the chat that it says, I think it's by Tony, says, can you outline if there's a minimum investment level required for opening a business and obtain the appropriate visa, residence rights? Well, in this kind of self-employment, as a working visa, as a self-employment visa, there is no minimum investment. Obviously, and there is no, you don't have to be like an innovation investment. There is no innovation project as we deal with that with a different kind of visa. In this case, you just create a business plan. You just are going to create economy. Every area is going to start. It's not, obviously, it's not the same to do it. You start in Madrid, that start in Alicante, or start in Malaga, that start in a little town near Cuenca, for example. So obviously, it's going to have a subjective criteria by the visa chiefs in order to start. But obviously, when you present the project into the Spanish consulate, this is brought into like an economic office in Spain, and in 3 months' time, we'll have, before 3 months' time, we have a proper resolution and hopefully a positive resolution. Okay, having said that, so we have self-employment, residency and visa, and then we have the golden visa. Many of you, I'm sure, that have listened to you about golden visa, always thinking about investment. I mean, a property of 500,000 euros or a bank deposit 1 million euros, or buying shares of a company, funds, but also, well, a Spanish debt, which is up to 2 million euros, but also can be done through investment in a project or entrepreneur project. So there are 2 ways in order to do it into the golden visa, Ley de Emprendedores. So an investment that has to be innovation and has to have like an impact on the economy of the area, obviously employment, impact, and innovation, like something like, which is, for example, now that in this world that we are right now, everything is with computers and digital, is something that it works a lot. So that is the impact on the economy in the area where the project is going to be done as an investment, and there is no minimum or maximum. Obviously, this kind of golden visa goes to big investments, and then it also is the entrepreneur projects, where I think in this case it can be linked into or be useful in order to do it with a project that has been said by Carlos, where an entrepreneur creates like a company or a joint venture or a company where there are different shareholders, where duly identified shareholders, and it's going to have a value in the economy of Spain, even though it's a small project, even though it's small, but obviously with a business plan, it's going to be saying that it's going to be expanded, it's going to be in Spain through this kind of commercial centers. So, and this kind of entrepreneur through the golden visa also can be done. So there is different ways in order to apply for residency through or making business in Spain. Obviously, there are, I mean, as I said, you can start with a branch from a different company with their own personality, that's perfect. Or you can acquire a company, that's perfect. You can obtain financial or entry as an investment with a venture capital, always you can do that. But that will not give you big rounds in order to apply for residency through doing business in Spain or creating business in Spain. So mainly, probably, I would say there's creating a limited company or with a business plan, maybe also to doing with a joint venture, also with a branch, also, but that will help also to do it, and or maybe to start just as self-employment without creating probably a company, even though this is the work we recommend normally. And then probably many of you have listened in the past, in the last weeks, that Spain is thinking about creating like a digital visa. It's like a visa that for those who wants to move to Spain, are working in a different companies outside of Spain, are working like with a computer. It's like how to say, it's like working in Spain, but with a company outside. You need to demonstrate that you have a salary from a different company in Spain, not in Spain, outside, the kind of salaries that you get, and you will obtain a visa for 1 year. This is still, and also is thinking about reducing the non-resident tax from 24 to 50%, and we need to see this when it's going to be approved or not. And also there's a Beckham law that we know that also with employees that come from different companies that at this time is attractive in order to come to Spain, also to reduce instead of, if it has a good salary, instead of being charged of normal rates in Spain, will be also for the non-resident tax. So at this time, there are some things that are being is going to be created in the near future by the government of Spain. But Ignacio, this is mainly the ways in order to obtain with a business, with a self-employment working visa, and with a golden visa with entrepreneur of investment, in order to obtain a visa. I think there are some questions in the chat, but I haven't read it. I mean, if you were able to...
Yeah, let's start with some of the questions. Well, thank you, Pedro, for your comments. I think you're right. What I recommend here, all our clients and the audience here, is for them to do due diligence to start with. Some of you here in the panel are saying, how about if you just come over with a non-lucrative visa to explore the potential to expand a UK business into Spain or EU? Can we change the visa after 1 year into a working visa? And the answer is, of course, yes. Okay, I think it's a very wise, Suzanne, question. When you start doing business, I agree with you that you should explore, and then you should have a meeting with an independent lawyer to make sure whether your project might fit. For example, as Carla was introducing Carmila, one of these premises, or probably you want to start in a local village, being probably self-employed and having just a project. I think you could even try, Suzanne, either 3 months if you want to explore, if you don't want to commit yourself into a non-lucrative visa. If that is not suitable because you need more time, yes, the non-lucrative visa will be, and I think it will be perfect because you will need enough time to do all the meetings with these companies, such as Carmila or any others, trying to do tax planning, trying to understand how the system works in Spain and see whether your trademark and business might work in this area. I've seen that Carlos shared that the beauty of this project with Entrepeneur is that it could be all around Spain. So I really, that really may suit a lot of you that are from abroad, and I'm sure you've got business abroad and you want to start from zero here. Pedro, I think if we just give a little bit of light as well on what the main decision sometimes, well, I want to set up a business in Spain. How do I start? Okay, we've got the idea of being self-employed. That's one thing. Then you could even set up an SL here, joined with, like Carlos says, even with them or any other partners, with the right partner, obviously. And whether it's an SL or a self-employed, it will depend on your project, and it will depend how fast you're going to start growing. It's not the same if you're going to do consulting, okay, and renting a place, and like Pedro said, the nomad visa. And it's not the same whether you're going to start with retail of selling X amount of things and you expect a turnover of a lot of money. On companies, we've got another question here where there is 25%. There is an allowance here and you start paying 15% the first 3 years when you start making profit, and then later on goes to 25% on a company. At the end of the day is to understand, do simulation of tax planning, depending on how much money you're going to receive or get as a net profit, and how much are going to be the tax one way or the other. The SL is good because it's limited responsibility as well. You're going to have employees here. And as Pedro stated, the visas will help you and will be suitable because let's say you are going to go into a golden visa doing this kind of project here, renting in one of the premises and creating a branch in Spain like they all started. Well, I think it will be great that way, but it's difficult here, Suzanne, to be accurate on the answers because every project is different, every situation is different. The only thing I could tell you that you've got many possibilities, self-employed, SL company, and the different type of visa. I don't know, Pedro, if you want to run through questions. Kristen is saying here whether it's better or easier for a visa purpose, a branch or a new entity in Spain. Well,
yeah, I think I will start with a new entity. I mean, as making a new business in Spain. Obviously, as a branch, as someone is depending on another company, also can be done. But I think it will be more transparent to do with our own company, an SL company. Obviously, in a group of companies that maybe is depending on a different company in
Yeah, the good thing here, when you set up your SL here, everything will be regulated here with Spanish laws and you start from zero. When you bring your legalized company into Spain, like a branch or subsidiary, okay, we will always rely on all the legal documents that were necessary to set up a company in your home country. So for us, it's a lot of more paperwork to legalize here in Spain rather than to start from zero. But it might be different depending on your strategy, business strategy around the world, that for some reasons you might want, tax reasons, probably your lawyers from abroad might recommend you a branch for different options or different reasons. Pedro, shall we move on with Nereida? I think we went through this. A lot of people might be starting or coming as a tourist and coming and then changing the visa. I think that's what she's saying here. They are going to start with non-lucrative visa. and then on the renewal time, kind of start a small business, right? So the answer, Nareda, yes, it's possible, and then you need to have all the requirements for you to comply. But as Pedro stated, the project is very important. It's not a money situation only. It's just what kind of project you want to do, how much work you're going to bring to Spain, and how good is going to be your project for the economy. So I want you to keep that bullet point, because that's really the key of the law on this work visa. We did attach here as well on the blog some interesting in the Expat magazine articles that you can read on. And as Tony, he just went through, there is not a minimum requirement. Pedro, would you like to run through anything else? Do you recommend creating a company over self-employment again, or do you want to? I think it's pretty much the same.
Just for civil liability, for tax reasons, for creating a company gives more credibility on a submission of a working visa or with a project. So at the end, I highly recommend that. Yeah, obviously, yes.
Yeah, I think basically it depends on the type of business. If you're doing like this man in Malaga started with a cafeteria, okay, and depending on how much money you spent the first year, you might even start as self-employed and jump later on into an SL company for tax reasons. It's all about tax planning. But when you first start as small entrepreneur and you're not going to have a big turnover, I will always recommend self-employed. I don't know if Michael wants to add here anything, or Carlos, would you like to just say something, Michael? Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, with on the decision whether to form a company or to do it on their own, our sort of a rule of thumb that we use, which is not very scientific, but we know from experience that basically we always tell them, because that's a very normal question, that unless there's a responsibility factor involved as well, which many times there isn't for them, we always sort of tell them that the basic rule would be that until they make 40 or 50,000 euro a year, net before taxes, that tax-wise it probably isn't worthwhile becoming a company. That's what we always tell our clients. I say it's not very scientific, but if we sort of work out the numbers, you'll see where we're coming from on that. That's just sort of what we tell people that have set up a bar, set up a hairdresser salon, etc., where there's not really a responsibility issue. That's sort of what we tell them.
I think it's good, because at the end of the day, is a typical question, Michael, and everybody comes. But as you said, if you're just individual and you start from zero, yes. If you're gonna be a big franchise, a big company, probably. The turnover is going to be big, probably might be worth it, because you're already going to go over the 40 or 50,000 easily, hopefully. Right. Carlos, would you like to say anything here to the audience? Because as you could see on the panel, there is interest on setting up business.
Just to let you know how we are investing. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not specialized in this, but we are also foreign investors, because we are a French company. So when we are creating joint ventures, we are investing through a French company directly, but we are creating always an SL in Spain in order to, through this SL, this joint venture, jointly with our local partner, we are developing the business. So this is the way we are doing, just to let you know.
So Carlos, do you normally do the normal practice when you really like one project of these people? You said 40-60 is the normal practice?
Yeah. We want to be a minority. We don't want to be, because our core business is real estate. It's not retail. So we prefer that our partner operate the business, administrate the business. So that's why we don't want to have this responsibility, and we are minority in every joint venture. So the investor is Carmila Retail Development with the French company. So we create an SL new company here. So we are adding the 40% of the equity required, and our local partner the 60% of the equity required. So this is the way. And at the end, we also help to finance through different ways the expansion of this business.
How many projects so far you have approached that the company really like and join?
Through this line, through the joint ventures, we already have 2 new companies. One is the Centro CDA, the aesthetic clinics. We already opened 12 around Spain, different cities. And we already signed also the dental clinics. 2 of them are open. We are now working on 2 more. And we are almost signing a new deal with another activity, still confidential. And in this case, we are entering in the existing company, buying 40% of the company. So this is another way, because this is an existing company running 8 shops. The performing is very, very good. So we are entering in the company with 40%, and we will help this company to expand their business in our portfolio.
Okay. Michael, Pedro, will you be kind to just put your email address here, just in case people might want to make any further questions or consultations about whatever they might have? Because obviously, once they move over here, they might have different issues on different planning, you know, estate planning and things like that, buying a property in Spain, etc. So depending on how much, what kind of project they might need your help. Carlos, do you normally, when you analyze the project, do you discuss it with them as a consultant or with your team, or how much information information you could give them to advise on a project? Is it wide enough, the consultancy you do, or is it just briefly?
It depends. If it's with the hat of its investor, we go very in deep through the project. We do a detailed due diligence, and we see how this concept, this business is performing. So we have the hat of the landlord and the hat of the investor. So this is a deep analysis, and what we try is to give them advice in real estate. So in which are the better locations, the rents, market rents, and so on. But they have the experience on the business. We are not running this kind of business. We can also share information about the same activity on our portfolio. Imagine that we have 2,500 contracts, leasing contracts. So we have many information about the market trends, the sales of our retailers, and so on. But in case we are not coming into a joint venture, it's just a person who is interested in opening a shop in our portfolio. It depends on the experience they have. We have tenants with a lot of experience. They don't need any kind of advice. So we are there. We propose the best location we can find for them in our portfolio. But there are some others who have no experience. For example, you can still find people and entrepreneurs and shops and business without a web page. So you still can find many of them without a web page. So we start from zero with them. So we see their concept, we advise them. You need at least a web page. Once they have a web page, you need at least to attract clients through digital marketing campaigns, so through Google Leads. So we are helping them in a proactive way. But they also have this platform I spoke about, the Nesto platform. So they can go into this platform at any time. They can choose training programs. They can choose anything they are interested in, and we are trying to help them at any time.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Carlos, from Carmila. I think a very interesting project, and very, very good information for those who wants to invest in Spain and start from zero, or just open just business. Thank you very much, Michael, for your input here, as always. Pedro, thank you very much. And I know, Kim, you made a question here about license. If you send us an email, we'll get back to you with the accurate tax that depending on the type of contract that you mean here. Okay. We'll do another webinar very soon about different circumstances. And the next one we're going to do on the 20th of October might be about building a house in Spain. I know Michael is going to do one as well tomorrow, and I think it's about buying a property in Spain. Michael,
tomorrow is about buying a property in Spain, buying a property in Spain safely.
That's good.
And all expenses involved. And anyway, I hope you'll be joining me tomorrow.
Of course.
We'll be live in any case at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Yes, we'll be tomorrow 6 o'clock in your webinar, Michael. I'm going to just leave it to Juan Fran to share with the audience just in 2 minutes video, just flying all throughout Spain. So Michael, we'll see you tomorrow. Carlos, see you very soon. Thanks for your time. Pedro.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
And I'll leave it up to Juan Fran, the guy, the TV guy. Over to you.
You can't stop thinking about it. That hidden cove, just for you. That little hideaway in the mountains. Or that beautiful postcard town. Dreaming about enjoying the fresh air again. Feeling the sun on your skin. Exploring. Walking. Traveler, there is no path. Paths are made by walking. Never stop dreaming. Spain will wait.